redemption, man makes that conscious effort to preserve God's creation on earth.
Good day, viewers. We continue our series, Lenten Talks. Today is episode 5. This is an initiative of the Diocese of Lagos Mainland in the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion to deepen our understanding of the import of the Lenten season in our journey as Christians. I have with me in the studio the Venerable Emeka Onwuakpa of St. Stephen's Church, Igbobi, is the vicar there. We will be discussing God's creation, its redemption. Venerable Onwuakpa, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'd like us to begin by having you share with us a word on the import of the Lenten season to us as Christians.
Thank you very much. All throughout the year, the Christian takes every season very calmly. But more importantly, during the Lenten period, the Lent is that period from Ash Wednesday to the Saturday before Easter. It's a period of reflection. It's a period whereby the Christian looks at his journey in life and see how far that journey has conformed to the plan and the standard of God. You know, at the end of the Lent, you have the Easter, so which is the foundation of the Christian faith, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So the Lenten period gives the Christian the occasion to reflect and know whether the life he or she is living is in conformity with the Lord. If it is not, he makes an adjustment.
Very good. So then when we talk about redemption, when we talk about God's creation, its redemption, what do we mean in the context of the world today? What are we redeeming?
When God created the heavens and the earth and the contents therein, he declared the creation was good. But over a period of time, that creation has been more or less destroyed by man. The trees, the animals, the vegetations, the birds, it has been devastated, some by man, some by natural occurrences. So for us to go near God's intention, the creation of God needs to be redeemed. When we talk about redemption, we're talking about saving something from a past wrong. Redemption is rescuing something that was originally good, but over time has been disrupted, either mechanically or otherwise. So redemption of God's creation is that process by which the creation of God is rescued from further destruction and made to be good or near good as God intended it to be.
Okay, thank you for that. And then when we talk about correcting past wrongs, making things better, bringing things back to what they ought to be, what is the role of the individual in this quest?
In the overall redemption process, Jesus Christ is the Redeemer, redeeming us from sin and errors of the past. But in this redemption, we are now the agents of the created being. For us to be able to redeem the creation of God from destruction, and it had to be consciously. Man in this context, man and woman,
Sure.
has to make conscious effort to redeem the creation of God. For example, you know that some countries have brought out the laws that stop people from killing some species of animals. In some countries, you don't do fishing in some rivers. In some countries, you don't cut trees. Like in Lagos, there was a time the Fashola administration stopped people from felling trees and began to plant trees. So the redemption of God's creation by man is that conscious effort by man to make sure that the creation of God is brought to where it ought to be. Because in the devastation of that creation, you will not see that man is hollow. You see that diseases are over the place. The ozone layer is broken. Many things have gone wrong because the creation has been destroyed. So in redemption, man makes that conscious effort to preserve God's creation on earth.
Okay. You've explained what we expect from the individual. How does the church, well, you've also highlighted a role for the government of the day by citing the example of a previous administration in Lagos. In practical terms, how does the church encourage its members to carry out this redemption of the damaged environment? If we look around our churches, what examples, what steps are we taking so that our members can go home with them and replicate them in their own homes?
The first thing the church has to do is to preach, to teach, to convince the members that this is a good process to undergo. That's the first thing the church will do. Let the members know that they shouldn't fell the trees in their compound. To let the members know that they should not be cruel to animals. That's the first thing the church will do, teaching, highlight, and that's what we are doing now in the rest of Lagos mainland through the Lenten talks, to let the people know we have a responsibility to preserve the creation of God. Then secondly, in our constitution, you don't just go anyhow and fell the trees in the compound. The bishop has to give approval for such. So these are avenues by which the church is helping in redeeming the creation of God that has been devastated by man.
I want to say a very big thank you, Venerable Onwuakpa. Viewers, we will continue the conversation next week by looking at another related theme to this business of God's creation and what we as individuals need to do to ensure that we protect. Thank you for being with us and see you next week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.